I remember that day. I remember that day in 1958. The sun in the sky burned like autumn embers, though a bitter chill hung in that air of November, and some ancient thing lurked in its primordial cold waiting to enter, its maw foaming with frenzy as it festered with hate. I remember young Garrett Bishop, a boy of no more than 8. How he trekked to the store with a fistful of quarters, and the thing watched from the cold with eyes that glowed like exploding mortars. It watched as a truck barreled through him and into the ditch. With its infernal glaze it delighted in the malaise and peered through the back window as it perched upon the trailer hitch. And as the hood smoked, the eldritch thing spoke, and with a foul hiss such bile expelled from its icy cold lips. No one will remember this day. I remember that day in 1968. The clouds blotted the sun from existence. The wind howled with such intentful insistence. The thing cocked its cloaked head to the symphony of gusting death just to listen, jubilant of the howling harmony of fast-coming fate. I remember Jared Hill, a man of 38. Beneath the encompassing shade of evergreens was his home, and sat upon a branch watching was the thing. It witnessed as the waving tree bent and subsequently snapped. It grinned its heinous grin as the widowmaker crushed Jared as he napped. And as the tree trunk broke, again the evil spoke, and with his bony finger tapped and virulently rapped. No one will remember this day. I remember that day in 1978, when the sun beat down with such scorching rays, as though God himself lamented us with a scornful gaze. But the thing all cloaked in black prowled just the same amongst the blaze, macabrely merry, glowing eyes still staring, eagerly awaiting to open up the gate. I remember Evelyn Hallard, a mother, age of 28. How her car broke down 200 miles outside of town. It snickered at how she suffered as the infernal heat beat down. It licked its vile lips as she succumbed to the hellish heat, and delighted in her heart's beating cease. And as she convulsed and writhed, this time only spoke with its eyes. With elated pleasure, its eyes croaked in no minuscule measure. No one will remember this day. I remember that day in 1988, when the blizzard roared, how the titanic snowflake soared. It seemed the sky had fell, the world encased in stark white splendor, though nothing then was mild and tender about this icy hell. But the dismal thing paid no mind, for by its cruel design foul fate's victims had befell. Clicking his plotting tongue, in the air a miasma of dread there hung, a feeling so innate. I remember the Gilliards, a family comprised of 8. How the all-consuming white obscured the vision from their van, and the bedeviled thing rubbed its filthy hands, as lost control did the van and plunged the clan into the bitter river. It drew in mocking breaths and clacked its rotten teeth as they began to suffocate and shiver. And as they flailed and struggled, it spoke with grim enthusiasm doubled, when upon its face stretched a wretched smile, and to itself uttered utterances so very vile. No one will remember this day. I remember that day in 1998. It was spring and the flowers were in bloom, though still the stench of melancholy hung about the dust-caked room, and the ancient thing pondered impending doom. It observed with feverish fervor, with devilish desire spate. I remember Marion Ford, a woman of 68. How she climbed upon her ladder, and it watched with sultry satisfaction as a satyr, as the woman suddenly staggered upon the ladder and plunged to her painful death. It moaned to the sound of the blood that leaked until it found the sinful satisfaction that it seeked when no blood to leak was left. And as she drew her final agonizing breath, with no time interluded, the horrid thing then concluded, "No one will remember this day." On this day of 2008, it is autumn now, and the leaves have begun to change their shade, and I can feel a dreadful difference in this autumn's entrance, and all about the autumnal air it splayed. Though I could not see the wicked thing, I feel it fast approaching as my hair has long since grayed. I am now an old man of 78. My hands now shake with terror, for I can plainly see my heart's been stronger and my skin's been fairer. The ancient thing will come to reap me soon, so I loathe the night and afternoon, and as this withered heart of mine pumps its final blasted time, and my eyes do lose their worldly shine, I fear above all else, no one will remember this day.